everyone. Welcome to the WISE 2025 Kickoff and Networking event with the PreSales Collective. We are so happy to be here. Happy New Year. There's a lot going on. So we hope that this next hour is a nice, supportive, safe space for you. And we're so happy you're here. We have a lot to get through, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Okay, here we go. So we have a jam-packed agenda today for everyone. We're going to start with a quick icebreaker and make sure, get the feel. It's going to be really fun, I promise. Then Wendy's going to walk us through why WISE matters. Why are we here? Why is it so important to be a woman in solutions excellence? And then we have a live panel with our council members, which is very exciting to get everyone together. Then we're going to put everyone in some groups, about 3 to 4 for a breakout. And then we have some call to actions on ways to get involved and ways to immediately start making an impact. And then, of course, use the chat with each other. This is for you. Okay, quick icebreaker. You can't see my screen, but I have a spin the wheel, a wheel of names, and I'm going to spin it. So you're just going to have to trust me. And so what is going to happen when I call on you? We are going to ask 3 questions. If I call on you, your name, what you're looking to get out of WISE, and your favorite Grammy winner from this week and their favorite song. So I'm going to pick maybe 1 or 2 names just to get us started. Okay, it's spinning. Again, you're just going to have to trust me. I do this a lot with my teams. Okay, this is Wendy with an I.
Hi, everybody. Wendy Muse. I'm looking just to, start making more connections and get back involved. It's been a little while since I've been involved with PreSales Collective and WISE. And the last company I worked for, I had started a Women in Solutions Excellence team. So just trying to get more connections and understand what everybody else is doing. Grammy winner, Chapel Roan, probably Feminine On and On.
Awesome. Thank you. Great choice. Thank you, Wendy. Okay, we're going to do one more, and then our other Wendy, I'm going to pass it to you. All right, it's spinning. I wish y'all could see my screen. We're going to go with the winner is Nicole Z. So Nicole Z, if you want to come off mute, tell us your name, what you're looking to get out of WISE, and then your favorite Grammy winner and their favorite song.
Hi, I am here because I wanted to network. I'm back on the job market. I've been on the job market for a while and haven't been involved in WISE, so it's time for me to do that. And I wanted to find, creative solutions to getting hired from this group as well. So, and Wendy stole my answer. I also love Chappelle Roan. So, but I don't have a favorite song.
Well, thank you for sharing, Nicole. You can just choose my 3-year-old's favorite song. Hers is Hot to Go.
That song's great.
Okay, well, it sounds like everyone is really wanting to network and get connected and maybe find ways to get involved, new jobs, new opportunities. So what I'm going to do now is Wendy, another Wendy, I'm going to pass to you. And please tell us why WISE matters. Why are we here? What is this group about? And why is it so powerful?
Oh my gosh, thank you so much and welcome everyone. It's so great to see y'all today. I am so excited because WISE has been such a big influence on me personally and professionally, and I wish the same for all of you. Part of why it matters is just there's so few of us. It is still the tracking globally that we are very underrepresented as women and people that identify as women in pre-sales roles, both in North America and in EMEA in our State of Diversity in Pre-Sales report. shows that number has hovered around that 16, 18%. That number has been consistent year after year that we have looked at this. So as best of our efforts to bring more women into the profession, the same number of women are leaving the profession. So to me, some of the most important work we can do as a community in WISE is in supporting each other. You heard a couple of our women talking about how they're on the job market looking, and I think that's where all of us can help each other support, whether it's job searching, whether it's career development, whether it's supporting through challenging times. Again, it's not a big community. Pre-sales is not a big community anyway. And then you look at 18% of that being women or women identifying, it's all the more important that we're here to support each other. And if you can advance the slide. And what I also think is so important about WISE, right? There are so many companies that do have WISE chapters. So WISE began at Salesforce many years ago and has grown now to many, many companies. And we have some very large WISE chapters. We have some smaller WISE chapters. You might have other ERGs in your company, so employee resource groups, and they act similarly to WISE, just WISE is pre-sales specific. To me, the fascinating thing is that there's research to support the benefits for companies. So why should businesses care about supporting such initiatives? Teams that are gender diverse and inclusive tend to outperform those that are gender homogenous, sometimes by as much as 50%. There are significant benefits to having equal gender representation on a team. For example, women are 34% better at working out compromises. Think through all the compromises you've navigated, right, at work and maybe in your personal life. And women are 25% better at mentoring. And when comparing employee performance between non-diverse and diverse organizations, Gartner research shows a 12% diversity boost with similar improvements in employee retention. So that research then shows the benefit of diverse employee populations, which leads to a diversity of thought, which leads to better decision making, which drives innovation and ends up growing your customer base. And companies that do so experience stronger business results and profits. So if you could advance another slide for me. So there is a lot of research out there to support the business benefits. And if you're interested in starting or supporting your own WISE chapter, I can post these with their supporting links in the WISE Slack channel so that you have ammunition for your conversations about why should someone else care about these initiatives supporting women and other underrepresented populations, especially our industry in pre-sales.
Awesome. Thank you, Wendy. And now this is more important than ever. So what we wanted to do for this year, we took a look at all of the data, all the information, all the past WISE groups and events and things that Wendy has really spearheaded for us to get us to this point. And we took a step back and thought, where could we make the most impact for this year? And we broke it down in ways to empower, support, and elevate you. And then if we look at our pillars, they are networking connection. That's what we're doing right now. Career development focus and social impact. And so we're going to put this on the very end, how to get involved in our Slack channel, different things like that. But the idea for 2025 is each quarter, we're going to have one of these three pillar events. So once a month, we'll be coming to you hot. In March, we'll have career development. And then we might have a third in March as well, because, it's now already February, but you can look for planning and programming throughout the whole year that's going to be focused on these three pillars. Okay.
And today I'm so pleased to present our panel discussion with our WISE Council leaders. And I think this is just an incredible opportunity to hear from some amazing leaders in our space. I'm so grateful to serve alongside these amazing leaders. I've learned so much from each of them. And I'd like to thank my co-chair, Allison, for her help putting today's session together, our advisors, Julie, Kate, and Leah, who have led the way with WISE at PreSales Collective, and our council members, Penelope, Patty, and Nancy, who provided such strong mentorship and guidance to all of us. I'm just really excited for you to have the chance to learn from each of them today. So with that, I'm going to be the moderator for today's session. So for each of our WISE Council members that are here today, and I'll make sure I can find all of you. This is so great to see such a good crowd. We're going to start with just a brief introduction. And so I'll try to call on each of you, and then we'll come back and I'll do a brief introduction for myself. So Allison, why don't we start with you? Just give a brief introduction.
Yeah, so my career journey into pre-sales started in 2015. I did not know what a solution consultant was. I didn't even know you demoed. I had no idea. I started at Sprinkler, and from Sprinkler, I went to Salesforce, where I spent 5 years, where we actually brought the WISE group for Salesforce.org there. Kate's help. So I see her on the call. Thank you. And I left Salesforce last April to take a leadership role with a company called Ontic. So that's where I am right now.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Allison. Okay, next let's go over to Julie.
Hi, I'm Julie Donaldson, and I am with Oracle. And I have been part of the Pre-Sales Collective WISE program since it began and got formalized. I was the chair for a couple years. I love Wendy, and she's doing an amazing job. I've been in the pre-sales world for about 23 years now, so very long time. Nice to meet everybody.
Thank you so much, Julie. And Julie was the WISE chair when I joined WISE.
Yes, that's great.
All right, awesome. So Penelope.
Hi, everyone. I am so proud to be here and part of the WISE Council. Thanks to Wendy and Allison, also our fearless leaders and all the rest of the leadership on our committee. I have been in this game in pre-sales for 26 years this year. So long time. Actually started my career as a BDR and then went into post-sales and then found my calling as the best of both worlds in pre-sales as technology and sales together. And I've been with that ever since. Long span journey at startups, Oracle, Salesforce, and some other startups most recently. So I'm also very active with the Pre-Sales Collective and facilitating some of the courses with Pre-Sales Collective as well as the WISE Council. So that's my journey. Lots of different technologies along the way, from database to analytics, to CRM, and privacy.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Penelope. And for those of you that are in WISE chapters, you may have worked with Penelope during our cycle with coaching and mentoring the WISE chapters. So thanks for your work there, Penelope. And Kelly.
Hey everyone, it's so great to be here. My name is Kelly Podersky. I lead our solutions consulting, customer success, and professional services team at a company called Proof. But prior to that, I had an incredible run at DocuSign along with Leah, who I know is also here today, where we co-founded the WISE program at DocuSign years ago. And I'm so fortunate and blessed to have been here with the Pre-Sales Collective WISE program since its inception as well. But I have to say, we would not be where we are today if it weren't for Julie and Wendy and all the work that you all have done. We've learned so much from our counterparts over at Salesforce, and it's been incredible to help organizations build their programs. And it's kind of funny because I feel like I'm in this new position now because I only have a very, very small SE team. I don't have any women on my SE team that I've come into. And on next week, I'm actually going to be helping to kind of found, if you will, just a general women's group because our company is so small and we don't have anything. So I'm back to kind of like the whole learning process all over again. And I'm really thankful for everything that I've learned through the WISE programs at DocuSign, learning from Salesforce, at PSC, from all the different WISE groups we've learned from to kind of start over again. So here we go.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I love it. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun though. It's fun being part of a builder, right? It's a good journey.
Yes.
Okay, Kate.
Yeah. Hey, Wendy. thanks to everybody for being here. And thank you, Wendy and Allison, for arranging this. I'm Kate McCardle. I lead a team of solution engineers here at Salesforce. I have the honor of being a co-founder of the first WISE program. And every day I kind of have to pinch myself because I'm not going to lie to you, this started with me and a colleague just being in a room and being the only female leaders and being like, we need to do something. So for it to have started as a, hey, we should probably do something, to now it's, thousands of people inside Salesforce and so many companies, it still shocks me every day. And that is not due to me and not due to my friend Jen. That is due to the women who just took the idea, ran with it, and have turned it into just amazing things. And so super thankful to be on this journey with everybody. And Kelly and Leah were the first ones that ever helped us realize, hey, somebody outside our company might care about this. And then the pre-sales collective jumped in. So, again, I've been in solutions, I'm going to just say since the 90s and leave it right there. I've had a lot of different jobs, and every time I move into a different job, I come back to solution engineering pre-sales because it's just the best job that most people don't even know exists. And so thankful for this forum and thankful for all of you to get to know more about being a woman in solution engineering. So thanks, Wendy.
Well, thank you, Kate, so much. And we have so much gratitude to you and everyone at Salesforce for showing the path for all of us here at PreSales Collective. So thank you. And thank you for all of your mentorship and advice. Okay, Patty.
Hello, Patty Hager here. Can you hear me okay, Wendy?
Yes, I can.
Awesome. It's so great to go after Kate because, like Kate, I'm a solutions leader at Salesforce. I have been at Salesforce about 2.5 years, and coming into a new organization, it's so difficult to navigate and network. And I was one of the beneficiaries of the great work that Kate started with the WISE community at Salesforce. And I quickly raised my hand to be on a committee. And that really helped me launch my career at Salesforce. When you're joining a very large company, it's very difficult to build that network quickly, and loved it. Like Kate, I'll say I started my solutions career in the early 90s. I've been in solutions my entire career. Had the absolute privilege of working with Wendy. I think it's been about 12 years, Wendy. Oh my gosh, time flies. But a lot of my career was in the ERP space, analytics space. I actually did a little turn right and became an account executive for several years. So I think that made me be a better pre-sales individual contributor and leader because I understood the pressures that account executives are under. So I'm really excited to have the dialogue today. I've been in Pre-Sales Collective since its inception, and I think I mentor, roughly probably a half a dozen women through this group. So really excited to share in the dialogue today.
Thank you so much, Patty. And it's so exciting to me to be able to serve on the WISE Council with Patty because Patty was actually my manager when I was at SAS. So it's super fun to still get to work with her and learn from her in a new capacity. So I currently lead the global SE business at a company called C Data Software. We're a startup in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. I have had a varied background that I was so excited led me into pre-sales. My background's in analytics and in consulting, which meant I was kind of, the SE job was perfect for me. Again, I wish I had found it sooner. I was part of the Women's Initiatives Network at SAS, and so was Patty. And then when I moved over to Pega, we launched an initiative that later we rolled into WISE. We started it in the pre-sales team at Pega, and then eventually we built a women's ERG there. I was the Americas lead for that ERG before coming over to be the chair at WISE, although I've been involved at WISE at Pre-Sales Collective since the early-ish days. I also recently joined the board of Carolina Women in Tech. And then I was a Girl Scout volunteer for 13 years before that. So I have always been really passionate about women's advocacy. And so very, very pleased to continue our WISE efforts in PreSales Collective. So thank you all so much. And thank you to my peers in the WISE Council. Okay, so I'm going to kick things off. We'll be asking each panelist, what's the best piece of advice you've ever received that's not necessarily career related, but you still find yourself using in your job? So I will start. We'll just go through round robin the way we did before. Allison.
Oh gosh, I was thinking about the next question. I wasn't prepared for this one. That's not career related. Oh, I have one. Okay, so my mentor when I first got out of college, people tell me things. They just have always told me things, and I was 2022. I was working at a big agency here in Dallas, and I liked knowing things. It was almost like I know this, I know this. And she set me down and she said, hey, listen, I know that people tell you things. Having that knowledge is power. However, to have respect, you need to keep it to yourself, or you need to have one person that you confide in. You do not want to be the person that knows everything, that's spreading rumors, different things like that. Lock it up. And I remember crying. Okay. But I think about it all the time. I tell all the people on my team that, every team that I've led that. And I think that it just really set with me. And I'm so thankful that she was so honest with me of like, this is how you're coming across. Lock it up, have your one person. And I still live like that today.
Love it. I love it. Thanks, Allison. Okay, Julie.
Yes, hi.
Same question about career advice, or I'm sorry, advice that's not career related.
Oh, advice is not career related. Oh, wow. I've worked my whole life. I would say, I'm big into family, and I'm also big into making sure that you do what you want to do whenever you can do it. So I am lucky to be a mom to 4 adult daughters now. They have grown with me through work, even though it's not work, but to be able to raise 4 adult women, and also be able to raise them as a strong woman in the world, and have a voice and have an opinion, is very important to me. And I think it's important to do stuff with your family, travel. And if I didn't do it, I don't know what I would do. And now I am happy that I also get to be a grandmother, and instill some of the same things that I instilled in my 4 kids. So I have 3 grandchildren, ages 4, 3, and 6 months, that I love to spend all my time with.
my
So
gosh.
my advice, I guess, would be to make sure you try and have some fun, no matter what you do.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. That's great advice. It's good to remember when we're all working hard, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Julie. Okay, Penelope, same question.
Yeah, I looked up a lot to my dad growing up, and I think he had a big influence on me. I would say, his influence was a lot about dreaming bigger than your initial, what you could imagine. So as a kid, thinking of the future, he would always make it a bigger question, even if it was something silly or small. In what I was growing up, I saw some cheerleader tryouts, and I was excited about that as a really little kid. And he said, why don't you play on the field instead of cheer on the sidelines? Now, I went ahead and became a cheerleader. There was nothing wrong with doing that in his eyes, but I also was a top, performing soccer player as well. So like just dreaming bigger, thinking bigger than maybe what you dream for yourself. So always having that in my eyes in the career world as well. Think what I think I can do, and then try to think bigger.
Yeah. And Kelly.
Yeah, so I think almost the opposite of what Allison shared, that people always come in and share information with her. My grandfather gave me a great piece of advice because he was so good at connecting with people. And I said to him, how do you do it? How do you get people to open up with you? How do you get people to, trust you and whatnot? And he said, it's very simple. He said, what's everyone's favorite topic? And I sat there, I'm like, food, travel, and he's like, no, it's themselves, right? So my little piece of advice that's worked in many different situations is, normally when you talk to somebody, I could say, hey, Wendy, how are you? And you would say, oh, I'm great. Thanks, Kelly. How are you? I'm great, and you move on. But instead, if I say, no, Wendy, really, how are you? Right? It's disarming. And then I'm picking on Wendy just because Wendy, I know I can pick on you, but then Wendy starts telling me more things about herself and what's going on. And Wendy might walk away saying, wow, Kelly's a great listener. I feel like I really know her. I may not have even told Wendy anything about myself, but we just made a connection on a deeper level that that just changes the game, because it's not that people, want to only talk about themselves, but we just don't get opportunities to do that very much. So when you give someone that opportunity, it builds a trust and it builds a different type of relationship. So that's advice I got when I was back in college, and I've used it for many years. But then, Allison, it's a great point that your boss said, let's not tell everybody what Wendy just told me, right?
Right. I love that. That's great advice. Okay, Kate.
Yeah, I think when I was younger, I've always had a very curious nature, which I didn't realize was not true of everybody. And when I would do a lot of investigation to try and find something out, I would just assume everybody else in the whole world already knew it. And so one of the great pieces of advice I got when I was also in college was, don't assume everybody else knows what you just struggled to learn for the last, however many days. Share it, because you might be saving somebody else some time down the road. And that has definitely helped me. When I joined Salesforce, that was the biggest, we talk a lot about imposter syndrome. I was convinced everybody in the company knew all of these things that I was trying to find out. And so I've been able to use that, stay curious and share what you learn, just to help. And then that was part of my early brand, and it's a great place to be. But again, I always just assume everybody knows everything that I just learned. So take a moment and share it, especially if you had to find it.
Yeah, it's great. And Patty.
Yeah, one of the quotes that really resonates with me is, use this gate before you speak. Is it true? Is it necessary? And is it kind? In my personal life, I think through that, and also as a leader. One of my past mentors told me, people never remember when years pass what someone said. They remember how you made them feel. So, in both my personal and professional life, I try to coach friends, colleagues, employees with a growth mindset, and try to help be radically candid with people so that they can grow and know that I care deeply about them. I follow this process that Kim Scott outlines in her book, Radical Candor. So that's really held true for me since like my adolescence.
Thank you. Thank you all so much for sharing that advice. Thank you. Okay. Next question. In your experience, what strategies or approaches have been most effective for women to build confidence and assert themselves in pre-sales? So Penelope, I'm going to direct that one at you first.
Yeah, I'm sorry, that's the one in most effective for building confidence.
Yes.
Is that what you said? Yes.
Yes.
Well, this is, I think, something that we always have to practice in every new environment that you're in, right? Everybody's new to something at some point, right? So, one strategy I definitely use to build my own confidence is pumping myself up. Self-talk even sitting in front of a mirror before a meeting and saying, you've got this, you know what you're talking about, whatever it is that you need to do to get yourself in that place. Of course, good preparation is itself a great confidence booster. If you know the material, you've got the data to back it up, of course, but just giving yourself time to build that confidence as well before you get into that situation. I also agree that you need somebody to maybe vent to, and maybe a different person to ask advice to, so that you can feel confident. You have moments of vulnerability with the people that you feel safe with, but then you can go and strategize and have a real meaningful, productive problem-solving conversation without that also lingering with you. So I would suggest you find that person. Maybe it's great to have another woman or someone you feel confident in who has a little awareness of the context, but you can't always have that in the same company and still feel comfortable sharing. So, find that person, even if it's just your partner or significant other who you can vent to first. I find that pulls the emotion out of it so that you can then have a confident conversation. And just fake it till you make it sometimes too.
Okay, and same question for you, Allison.
Yes, I love this question. So one thing at Salesforce we were taught a lot was about brand building and taking a step back and thinking about what kind of person do you want to be? What does your brand want to be when you're not in the room? And I thought about that a lot. And I wanted to be someone who is coming up with solutions, which makes perfect sense because I'm in solutions, right? So for example, I think when you raise your hand and you kind of just ask for forgiveness instead of permission, you 9 times out of 10 don't really have to apologize because you're seeing that there's a hole and there's a need. So like with salesforce.org, when we created WISE, we knew we had the big WISE chapter, but we needed something a little smaller and we were talking about it, ways to do it. And so we just did it, right? We talked to Kate, of course, and made sure it was okay, but we just did it. And we said, we're going to create wise.org, or wise.org is what we called it. And we're going to have an event each month. We're going to get a budget. And we just kind of did it. And so sometimes you think about the fake it till you make it, but I also think it's more of just like, where's the hole? How can you add value? And just do it. And I think it just kind of over time, you just kind of take that approach and it really does help build your confidence, right? So I really like to just tell women or anyone, hey, see where there's a hole, think of your solutions brain and how you can fix it and go for it.
Great advice. Great advice. Okay, so I called out mentorship a few times at the beginning of our conversation today. So I'm going to go to, what role have mentors or sponsors played in your leadership journey, and how can women actively seek out or become mentors to others in the field? So Patty, you've been a tremendous mentor to me, so I'm going to go to you first.
Thank you, Wendy. So I would say you got to start with just asking, right? Like I look at the years of my career, some of my greatest learnings have come from female leaders that I've just literally pulled aside and said, hey, I really admire XYZ that you're doing. I aspire to be a strong leader like yourself. I'd love to spend some time with you. And, I got to say, most women enjoy helping other women. There's that saying, from our former Secretary of State, there's a special place in hell for women who don't help women, right? Most women are very apt to help you along the journey. One of the things that I would recommend when you seek out a female or male mentor, come to that meeting with something that you're working on that may give them an idea and spark an idea. Like I always love to have the conversation of, how can I help you? But I also want to hear from the mentee, like, tell me something really cool and creative you're working on, because us as leaders, like, we do not have all the answers. We're constantly seeking new innovative ways. So, I find it's a great relationship where you're getting both out of each ends. So I would say those are some of the things. And the last point, Wendy, is I remember my mentor, her at SAS, Annette Green. I hope she listens to this. You know, she encouraged me. One of the biggest learning moments in my career was when I had the opportunity to stay in a vertical that I was very comfy with and the business was performing well, or go outside of my comfort zone and start a brand new industry vertical. And I remember saying to her, can I do both? Like I'm comfortable here. I'll help. But I was so afraid to just jump in completely into the unknown. And I knew it was such high visibility. And she's like, Patty, you're either all in or not in. And that has stuck with me. You know, when my leaders have asked me to do things and I'm a little scared, I'm like, go to the hard stuff and you're all in or you're not in. So hope that helps.
Thank you so much, Patty. And Julie, same question. What role have mentors or sponsors played in your leadership journey, and how do you think women can actively seek out or become mentors to others?
Yeah, I'm going to tag on to what Patty was saying about the whole asking and seeking, you know, ask, seek, and be confident on what you want to achieve whenever you look for a mentor. And I learned this I learned this very early on in my career before I was even a solution engineer. I didn't even know the role existed, but I just graduated high school and I wasn't going to go to college, so I was a secretary. That's what my career was going to be. And I happened to become a secretary for a department in the government that was the IT department. And my boss at the time could tell that I was good, but I was bored. He could tell I was bored. And he goes, you know, Julie, why don't we teach you how to program? And so that you could learn and you could grow and do more. I'm like, that would be great. And he goes, you don't have to wait for me to come to you. You could just come ask. He told me that very early on in my career. And he goes, that's how you're going to grow and proceed in your career is asking for things to help you grow. So then I asked him a couple months later, I'm thinking about going to college. Will you all pay? Like, will you pay for my first class, intro to computer programming or whatever? And they did. And so then they paid for a couple more classes, and that's how I got in the tech field. So my whole journey was from Mr. Redfern, Richard Redfern, who I worked for. I still remember him to this day. And I even went to his funeral when he passed away, 30 years after I worked with him. And I still remember to this day what he told me. Ask and seek, and you'll continue to thrive and grow. So that's what I preach, and that's what I think everybody can do.
I think that's wonderful, wonderful advice, wonderful advice. Okay, I have a question, and Kelly, this question is going to be for you. Can you share with us, what does WISE mean to you, or what has WISE meant to you?
Well, there's probably not enough time in the session, Wendy, to fully answer that question. If you know me, you know this is my passion project in my life is WISE. I feel like imposter syndrome is a pretty well-known topic now, but number one, WISE has gotten me to where I am in my career today because of the people that I've met. Number two, I hadn't heard about what imposter syndrome was until I was in a part of WISE, and I learned that all of these feelings that I had, Kate, you even mentioned it earlier, you just assume that everybody knows all of these things, right? I just, for whatever reason, listen, ladies, I've been in years of therapy over my imposter syndrome stuff, okay? But learning that, number one, there was a name to it, and number two, that I'm not alone, changed my world. And I've given a lot of talks on imposter syndrome since then, and the connection that that's given me with so many other people, just again, I didn't know that this was a thing. I always thought it was just me, and being able to not only learn, but then pay that forward has been so eye-opening, number one, and overall fulfilling, number two. There's a million things I could say, but I would say that that's really my top thing. And just, Kate, you said it earlier too about your co-chair. When Leah, who unfortunately she's not on today, but when she and I started Wise at DocuSign, again, it was very much a similar situation, not knowing it could be a bigger thing. And now the DocuSign Wise program is like 300 people strong. And Leah and I continue to get credit for it. And we were like, this is all them. Like they took this, they ran with it. We had this tiny little idea that was cool, but it's gone so far beyond that. And it's given so many other women the opportunity to grow. I mean, I could just keep gushing, but the connections it's made, the learnings from it, the paying it forward, it's been so much. I'll stop there so I don't run out the clock.
Oh, that's wonderful, Kelly. 1,000% agree. 1,000% agree. So I'm so excited to have everyone here today. And next, I hope you all enjoyed hearing a little bit from your Wise Council leaders. But next, we're going to have a chance for you all to meet with each other. To me, networking has been such a powerful part of my pre-sales collective journey. We're going to put you in breakout groups of 3 and please discuss in your group what is one takeaway you're going to put into action today and why. We'll do a 10-minute breakout and then we'll come back together as a group afterwards. So thank you so much. Yeah, and the Wise Council members will be spread out among the breakouts as well. That was super fun. Thanks, y'all.
And we're doing so well on time, Wendy. I'm so proud.
I know, look at that.
Okay. All right. I hope everyone had a fantastic session. That was awesome. Let's all connect on LinkedIn and Slack, all the things, which leads us to our call to action, ways to get involved. Obviously, this group is filled with amazing, brilliant, powerful, strong, amazing women, and I love it. It lights my soul up. I hope it does for you too. Join us. So we have the Slack channel. If you are part of the Pre-Sales Collective Slack, you just join the channel, the Topic Wise Women in Solution Excellence. Come on over. Here we had a lot of different options of fun things that women are sharing. There's opportunities, there's all sorts of stuff. And also a bunch of our allies come in and share opportunities too. So get involved there. Another thing we are going to post on that channel. So remember our pillars. We have a social impact opportunity with a group called Wine to Water. I've done 2 of their events. It's totally virtual. It's an incredible giving back opportunity to help bring clean water to people around the world. It's very fun, very impactful. If we have enough interest, we can do that. So we're going to put that on the Slack channel. If you're interested, we're going to do probably an emoji reaction or something like that to let us know. We'll probably have a Google form too, our favorite. And then one other call to action that we promised Jack we would talk about is on March 28th, March 26th, March 26th. The spinning wheel was over my note. On March 26th, it's the Digital AI Summit, and they are looking for speakers. And we want to make sure Wise has a presence. So if you or anyone that you know loves talking about digital AI in the world of pre-sales, please raise your hand. We will put that on the Slack channel too for you to get involved and have an opportunity to speak. So with that, Wendy, anything else? We'll give you 5 minutes back. Oh, Rashida, what's up?
Oh, I was just raising my hand that I would love to speak about digital.
Amazing.
That's fantastic. Thank you.
You're
Great.
welcome.
Thank
I'll
you.
connect
Thank you.
with right
Yeah.
after. Okay.
Yes,
Rashida,
well, I just and I'll just say as well, thank you so much, Rashida. That's great. Yes, please reach out, please connect. So excited that all of you were able to join us today. Our next event will be for International Women's Day coming up in March, which can't believe I'm already talking about March. And lots of great activities and events going on this year for Wise, but keep us posted in the Slack channel. And I wish you all the best this year. And yeah, we'll give you a few minutes back to get some coffee before your next call.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.